what I did is I wanted to stretch out the scroll bar so I can rewind it as needed. Alright, again, sorry this is kind of drawn out intro, but what I want to do is go over everything and play the entire run from start to finish and explain everything I do and why I do it. And let's start off right here. Because I'm superstitious, you'll notice right there it is. I didn't pause on it. Come on. Try. Nope, I didn't go far enough back. There it is. See the little flicker? I was able to stop it on the blue. This is a hard reset. I recommend everyone when playing Contra or Super C to always do a hard reset and never do a soft reset. This is superstition. It makes no effect on the game whatsoever. When you do a soft reset, it resets all RAM values to 0. Same thing with a hard reset. This is just something I do. You don't have to do it. But let's start off right from the power on screen. I always do a hard reset. Mayor K and Herblack can vouch for me. When they want to do soft resets, I'd stop them and say, hard reset. Soft reset is pressing the reset button. Hard reset is turning the entire system off and then turning it back on. That's the difference between the two. Hard reset, turning it completely off. Soft reset, tapping the reset button. Again, it changes nothing in the gameplay. It is solely just a personal superstition, and it drives me insane when I'm playing this game and I use a soft reset. So I just don't. I kind of want to take the soft reset button off of my thing, off of my button. NES, that thing over there. But anyway, now that we're done with superstition, let's get on with it. I let the Super C logo stay up as long as I can. This shot right here that comes out, right here, is shot at a downward angle down here. And this is to kill the first guy. This is purely flashy technique. If you want to do this, you time it, you want to shoot just before your feet hit this line. You start the timer, that's a good thing. You start the timer when you hit the very bottom of the rope. You'll see how your feet are together. When you hit the bottom of the rope, you'll go into that animation. That's the frame in which timer starts. But yeah, if you guys are doing races on SRL or something, for Contra and Super C, I believe it is best to just start from power on. One Contra has that intro music that it has to go through no matter what before it'll start, and Super C doesn't have that, but still, why not? Let's just keep everything the same. Again, you guys can do it however you want, but it's not that bad of an intro. I guess you could do Super C from the start menu, as long as you're hitting select and don't accidentally hit second player. But anyway, there's that. Iffy shot. Kill these guys your favorite way, and you can kill those 3 guys. They'll always spawn there. They're guaranteed spawns, and so are these 2 guys here. A lot of the spawns in the game are guaranteed spawns, and a lot of the spawns come out in the same area, like give or take like a frame window. There's a frame window where everything will come out. These guys are part of that frame window that I was talking about. Like What I mean is, in the speedrunning setting, you're always holding forward. So you should always be in specific spots at specific points of the RAM calculations. So the spawn should always come out at particular spots. So that's something you can kind of pay attention to. When I run this game, I was timing my stages by, when I get to this specific point, what part of the music am I at? When I'm at this part of the point, what part, or this part of the stage, what part of the music am I at? What beat am I looking for? You know, that's the way I was timing it myself, so I could always do as I'm running the game, I can calculate in my head how much time I've gained or lost, just from that. And if you've watched me, run Contra, you've noticed at the end of a stage, I can just spit out a number. I'm like, okay, I lost this much time. Or at the very end of the run, without even timing it, like, people will ask me, well, what time do you think you're going to get? And I'll be within half a second range, just because experience. That's all I can say, experience. But anyway, let's actually get to the good stuff. Kill these guys your favorite way, and I'm going to be using that because Go One Din used that little saying, and it's a good saying, so I'm going to use that. Kill those guys your favorite way, let them get close to you, keep them at bay, however you want to do. A cool thing you cannot do in this is in Contra, you can aim up, angle up and walk, and you can shoot people in the face. In Super C, you can't do that. So don't try it, because it won't work. If you can get it to work, let me know how, because I don't think it's possible. But anyway, kill these guys your favorite way. This pod it has this nice little wavy motion here. And the cool thing about these pods is, as long as you're holding forward the entire time, from the time they come on screen and you don't slow down, they'll always be in the same spot at every time. I will look up at it, and when it does this little wavy motion, right when it's about here, it'll dip down and then come back up. When it's all the way down is when I shoot at it to collect it. When it's all the way down, that's when you shoot, and it'll hit it when it's up. When you do that, you don't have to jump to collect it. You do not have to. No, you don't have to jump to collect it. I jump at it because I want to be flashy. That's the only reason. I got bored of doing this intro so much. But believe me, I have died to these bullets every now and then. So if you want to play it safe, play it safe. I was doing it because I'm experienced and I'm bored and I was running this game way too much. So you can walk off this. If you were to not play it flashy and not jump, you can just walk off. And while you're walking off, shoot this guy. Get rid of him. You do not want him there. All the snipers, the red snipers, need to die pretty much ASAP. If you don't kill them as soon as you can, they will either, one, slow you down later, or they'll screw up some of your jump timings, or they'll just mess with you. Don't let them do that. But anyway, we're out of that, and you want to shoot this guy. You want to try to kill him as soon as he's on. If you shoot from right around this area, you'll get him. Right when you're about the middle of this whole pit thing, bunker, ditch, whatever you want to call it. When you're in the hole, go get him. Come on, get in the hole. When you're in the middle of the hole, that's when you want to shoot up at him. And as long as you're in the middle and you jump, you will land right on this edge, and you won't get hit, just like that. Same thing with this pod as the first pod. This is your R for your machine gun. What it will do, it does a little wavy motion. Once it gets here, it's going to go down and then it's going to come back up. When it comes back up, I don't angle up and shoot at it. Instead, what I do is I clear out the front guys and I continue shooting forward. I continue I'm gonna get lightheaded from doing all this talking. I know it. Instead of shooting up, you continue shooting forward and you jump and continue shooting forward. So your bullets are going to have this little wave motion to it. It's going to look like this. See how I did that? I jumped and I just continued shooting forward. These guys should not bother you at all. But when you land, what this is going to do is going to force you to jump again. And because you jump again, it's going to manipulate this guy. And that's what we care about. And there's almost always this guy who spawns like right as this line comes on. Let me see if I can scroll back to it. See, there's the line. You'll notice he'll spawn right there. He likes to spawn often. Another thing I gotta note, this was my cursed cart, and it likes to spawn a lot more than other carts. When I made my Contra tutorial, I was talking about how this guy's a specific spawn, this guy's a guaranteed spawn, this guy's a guaranteed spawn, and then Mayor K sent me his cart, and it turns out that's not true. Turns out everything that I thought was a pretty guaranteed spawn, it's not a guaranteed spawn. It only comes out maybe 5% of the time. So I had both a Contra and a Super C cart that was just flat out evil. Anyway, when you land from this jump, after you jump to shoot this, to hit this R, as I said, you jump, go back a little bit. When you do this jump, you see that little wave of bullets. It's interlaced, so you can't really see all the bullets, but they're there. You see this. Once you land, you're going to want to shoot, as soon as you land, shoot one right and one up. Up at the angle, that will take care of this guy. The forward shot will take care of this guy. If you have a messed up cart like me and he spawns, if you notice that these guys, some of the spawns that I say that spawn all the time, don't spawn for you, you're lucky. I'll say that. You're lucky. You just didn't get a bad cartridge like I did. But what you want to do is land. You notice I already shot the bullet forward, and now I'm shooting upward. And then I wait until I'm right about that line, or right when he's about to hit me, to jump again. And what this does, you see how that bullet comes high, and this bullet comes even higher from your jump. They're completely irrelevant now. If you continue walking, if you were to turn around, let's say these two guys behind you never spawned, and you just continued walking, these bullets would come down and be right about here with you, and you wouldn't be able to jump when you first get onto the hill. Words. I'm good. When you first get onto the hill. And the thing is about the hill is you slow down whether you're walking up or down a hill. Your forward momentum stops. Hypothetically, I don't know the real numbers. If you were running 4 pixels per frame in a forward motion on a level ground, on a hill, whether you're going up or down, you are now running at 2 pixels per frame. Your speed is cut pretty significantly. You can notice it. So you always want to jump when you're on a hill as much as you can. I prefer, for the first hill, I prefer to be right at the bottom is when I start. The hill actually starts a little bit like right here, technically where it starts, but I start right at this line. Right when my toes hit that line, that's when I start jumping. And then just jump as best you can. Try not to have any things. Try not to. Only on hills does it make you faster. You don't notice it unless you actually are shown it, or you just decide you want to be lazy and you walk, and then people start running up on your butt, and you're like, "Whoa, he's fast!" But these two guys, you can basically ignore. They'll never kill you. They'll come out and they'll or I think the first guy might kill you. It's been a really long time since I tried this. But I kill them just because I can. Try to kill them as soon as they come out. Alright, and you'll notice I jumped right here. This is to deal with this sniper. He will not actually shoot so long as you don't stop moving. He will not actually shoot until you're standing right about here. That's when he decides he wants to shoot. Fun fact about the weapons, because I will be going over the weapons as well. Contra machine gun, it has a limit on it. Limit on how fast it limits on how soon another bullet can come out. So like pea shooter, if you can mash at every other frame, the bullets will come out at every other frame. If you, with the machine gun, if you mash at every other frame, it will not come out every other frame because it has that limiter. You can only have one shot per 5-10 frames. I don't know what it is. Super C, they removed that limit. So all the machine gun is an upgraded pea shooter. You do not have 4 bullets anymore, you now have 8 bullets. Use them. So when I shoot, I am angling down here, and I am not holding the button down, I am actually mashing this to get enough hits on this guy. If you do not get enough hits on this guy, or you cannot mash quick enough, no worries. Jump up at him, let the bullets hit him, and then when you get right in his face, you jump over him, shoot down at him, and you will kill him anyway. There's enough time and enough bullets so you can just deal with it. There's real in this game, I do want to touch on this as well. Mashing will only save you, if you can mash at the level at which I do, you will only save roughly 2 seconds. Out of the whole entire run, you will only save that much time. If you can't mash, or you're just a regular person who is just, you know, tap, 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 tap like that, you can still get really amazing times. All of the time saved is not from the bosses, but it's from the stage execution. The bosses, you may only lose one second per boss if you can't mash. Awesome. So if you have perfect execution in all the stages, this runs a 13:18. There's 8 bosses minus 8 seconds. You are now at 13:26. That is still a phenomenal time. There's a lot of people that can't beat this game within 14 minutes or under 14 minutes, and you're crushing that still. Don't worry about it. It's all about the stages. That's where everything actually matters. The boss kills are just impressive to everyone because they don't know where the real optimization comes in. Genuinely, I'm not trying to put the viewers down, but from a viewing standpoint, seeing a boss go down crazy fast is more impressive than jumping and killing enemies quickly. It's pretty much how it is, but the level of optimization of manipulation within the stages is where your time actually gets saved. Back to this, now that I'm off that tangent. So you can deal with this guy. You can just shoot down and hold the button down. You don't have to worry about him. He'll die. But see, because I mashed, I was able to get all the hits on him. He requires 5 or I think it's 6 hits. 6 hits. That's all he requires. You'll get 4 or 5 if you jump at him, and then when you jump over him, you're going to easily get the last 2. He's not that hard. This is your bomb. You want your bomb. Your bomb is amazing. Your bomb clears this guy. Clears out any extra spawns that you got. And up top too. So it gives you a complete randomness reset, per se. Randomness comes in from the guys that spawn behind you, never in front of you. The guys that spawn behind you dictate when and where you jump. So by clearing that, you have a free pass to do this hill properly. So as you go through, you'll see I jump early, so I land early. So I land really early compared to this. You have this window from right here where I'm shooting now to all the way up to this line where the hill technically starts. I was explaining that earlier. It doesn't technically start until a little after that line. In that window somewhere, shoot 1 bullet up and you'll hit this. If you shoot it early, you'll collect it early. If you shoot it too early, I think this is pushing it as far as too early. You don't want to shoot any earlier than this, and you'll actually jump past it, and you won't be able to collect it. I like to wait until I'm right about here, right about at that line, just like the last hill, just before I start jumping, to shoot it. You only need one bullet. You'll always hit it so long as you continue scrolling the screen. And it'll hit, and then as you jump, you automatically catch it naturally. This guy right here, depending on where your jumps take place, and depending on the spawns, don't frame advance. I didn't click anything, but frame advance, whatever. Depending on how those initial guys down here on that hill affected where your jump position on here, is whether you can jump into this bullet and not die or not. See how close I get to it. I also do this in my marathon events. This is actually one of the things I try to get. I try to get my jump position right so I can jump into this bullet. It's for making the viewer go, he's gonna die! He jumped into a bullet! He screwed up! Oh, whoa, he didn't die. That's amazing. Yeah, that's actually intentional after I learned that. That's really intentional. For two reasons. One, it saves a few frames. Two, if your jump position is wrong, or you don't feel confident that you got this, you're able to pass through this, you're only walking on this much of the hill. You lost maybe 3 or 4 frames total off that whole hill. So don't feel the need to show off. Yes, it will save you frames, but you can also change your starting jump position. Why are you frame exam? I don't get it. Why is it doing that? You see it like shift over a little bit? It's dumb. You can jump sooner, jump later to your appeal, like however you want to do it. Find your favorite way to do it. If you jump a little bit before the bottom of the hill, that's it. If you jump a little bit before the bottom of the hill, fine. If you jump a little bit after the bottom of the hill, fine. It's however you want. If you get a little bit of walk time on a hill, you're only losing a few frames. It's nothing huge to worry about. So anyway, so long as you continue moving, you can walk under this bomb. No worries. So just don't jump. In low percent, that's a whole nother issue. But this isn't low percent. And if you want to see low percent, go check out that tutorial video. I don't go into great detail about it. I just go into the general stuff because I was tired of answering questions on why I reset and why certain spawns was bothering me. Anyway, let's move on. Bum, bum, bum. You'll notice I did that. Up, down, up for the high beat, low beat, high beat. I'm bored. Here is something everyone will want to know. I jumped a few frames before this, right about here. You can see I'm way, way, way before this compared to where I've been jumping prior. This is solely because I'm manipulating these grenade spawns. And I will explain that in a moment. What you want to do is jump so you'll land about middle of this block. That's your goal. Roughly middle, give or take a little bit. See? I land roughly about middle. He spawned, so I want to deal with him. And I should get one more jump in. No, I don't. Alright. Sorry, I'm getting my runs mixed up. If you're doing low percent, you'll jump again. If you're not doing low percent and you're doing any percent, you'll land here and walk. This is where you want to walk. But you're losing frames. You just told us you never run on hills. Yes, but if you want to get through this grenades up here really easily and collect your fire, you're going to want to walk. Walk and shoot when you're on this hill. Your angle is going to be really dumb. When just from your shots, when they hit that bottom pod, immediately jump. When they hit, not before, but when they hit this pod. See how I haven't jumped yet. I haven't jumped yet. I hit the pod, I jump. That is your visual cue to jump, is when you hit that pod. When you do, you get your fire, and that will also pop your bomb up here, and it will pop it in a time where you can get past these bombs without any worry. So So you'll see, because of the angle, it pops right here. And then you just continue jumping. If you, depending on where it is, if you don't feel like you can jump into the fire collection, don't jump into it. Walk like I did. You just saw me do it. Let's go back a little bit. See how I walk into the fire, walk to collect the fire, and then continue jumping as normal from there. Cool? See? That's easy. Hill 3 done, I think it is. I don't know. Whatever. We're on to the next area. This is one of the more difficult spots. There's a guy that can spawn back here. For me, he spawns a lot because I have a cursed cart. If it doesn't spawn for you frequently, don't worry about it. But most of the time, you can just forget about him. This guy always spawns, and there's normally a guy down here just to mess with you. That's why I shoot. And there's that guy that spawns I was talking about. But he spawned really late, so you don't need to worry about it. He'll spawn somewhere between that hill and here. Why did it skip a frame again? I saw it. Did you guys see it skip a frame? I don't know. But anyway, you jump and you shoot, and you want a charge shot. If you don't know, fire can be, or force, fire, whatever you want to call it, it can be charged by pressing and holding B, press and hold shoot for, I think it's like 30, 40 something frames. It doesn't take long to charge. And then you release it, and you get a charge shot out. It's stronger, deals more damage. But as you see where I land just before this ledge, so I can jump again. Because I do that, this guy's shot is going to be manipulated high, and I'm not even going to worry about him. He is not my concern at all. In this particular instance, he is not my concern. In low percent, that guy dies ASAP. You don't give him a chance to do anything. In any percent, you don't care. Your concern is this turret that's about to spawn. Right there. When you jump here, you're going to take that charge shot that you were charging. You shoot a charge shot down here. If you remember that, because you jumped here, you're about right here, and you shoot your charge shot, and then you immediately start charging again, that's plenty of time. That little V right there is plenty of time. You have no worries at all. Alright? When you get it here, you want to, at the peak of your jump, you shoot down. Both shots. You want to release your charge shot and shoot again. And start charging your next shot. I just received a message. Awesome. And once you're charging your shot again, jump immediately. Because what you're going to land and you're going to jump immediately. Continue charging your shot because you're going to have to deal with this guy right here. I guess you don't have to charge. It's probably best that you don't. I do anyway. Just because I can. This guy again, I'm going to ignore him. These two snipers, in any percent, you ignore. Once you get up close and you know you're past that, you want to wait until this pod right here is machine gun pod. This is your reset button. This thing right here. This is to tell if you have patience or not. You'll notice, I skipped a little bit because Windows Media Player is not the greatest thing. You'll notice right here, if I were to shoot down to hit this guy, I would also collect M. You collect M, you're reset. That's your reset pod. Yeah, you like that pod. Everyone likes that pod. So you wait until it's out of your way, until it's in front of you, as I did, and then you shoot downward at that angle. You'll still hit that pod, but it'll go up out of your way and you won't have to worry about it, and you'll deal with this guy. Once you shoot that, charge immediately again. Once you charge immediately again, you go through here. You'll get some lag here because of all the bullets and some of the spawns. Hawkeye in my chat right now, he is saying that it's narrow. Actually, it's not. It really isn't. Narrow is showboating jumping into that bullet on the previous, or one of the previous hills. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. That is narrow. This is not narrow. This is huge of a gap. If you see how much of a gap I have. Oh, by the way, your hitbox is right where the point. You're at the very center of your, right where about your elbow is. You have a 1 pixel hitbox. 1 pixel. That's all you have for a hitbox. These things, however, change shape depending on how you jump. We don't need to worry about that. All you know is they're designed to, their hurt box is what they're called. Their hurt box is designed to change shape with your sprite. So if your sprite is a nice little ball, it's going to be a little box. If you're standing up, you're taller from your center. You still have a 1 pixel hitbox. It's just that everything has a skewed hurt box. So if it was to hit you in your head, it's long enough because it's skewed that it compensates for that sprite change. So yeah, just don't let anything hit you. It's well designed. It's a really well designed game. But anyway, yeah, this is not close at all. Then you go through here. That's gone in time. Oh, by the way, if you shoot this too late, you'll have to get get a feel for it. I will admit that when you jump here to take out this turret, you're gonna have to get a feel for it. You want to shoot it quickly, but you don't want to shoot too quickly. If you shoot too quickly, you won't hit it with the full charge shot, and it won't die. That's a reset, unless you're playing casually. If you shoot too late, it won't die soon enough, because while it's blowing up, you can still walk into it and die. So there's a little sweet spot in there. You'll find it with experience. It's somewhere near the apex of your jump. The very peak of your jump is right where it's at, somewhere in there. But yeah, once you do that, you can deal with that. See all the bullets clearly go over your head. You have no worries about bullets. This guy, because of all the jumps, he slows down, so he's continuously falling behind. You never have to worry about him unless he spawned early. Why did it do that? See, it jumped another frame. Unless it spawns early way back here where the hill was. If he does then that initial jump where you're shooting at this guy down here, hopefully, you would have to shoot down to take care of him, and then you can just jump over and hit this guy anyway. So it's fine. Let's go back so I can give you a good visual example of that. A little bit more. Alright, if he was to spawn early, like down here somewhere, he would spawn early, so he'd be right about here right now. Keep going. When you jump, he'd be right about here right now. So at the peak of this jump, instead of shooting down, you would, or down at this angle to take care of this potential spawn, he may not have spawned, you would shoot straight down. And because you have fire, it does this little ricochet thing, and it'll take care of him, and then you don't have to worry about him. This guy, because he's slow and dumb, you're just going to land and jump over this guy anyway. So this guy is going to walk up to this way and jump over here. You're going to be clearly over the guy's head. You don't have to worry about him. So don't worry about it. Back to this. Once you hit roughly, see this little hole? That would be my rough thing. See, there's the hole. That's when you shoot your charge shot that you were charging. You're going to be charging a lot of shots. You might as well get in the habit of always charging your shot. Always hold down the B button. If you need to shoot, let go and shoot it again. Let go and shoot it again. Let go and hold it again. Let go and hold it again. That's the habit you want to be in. So you're going to shoot this guy, and then right about at this pillar is when you're going to want to jump. Or a little bit. Okay. If you want to play it safe, you'll jump right about that pillar. I was pretty ballsy there and damn near died. I'm not gonna lie. Alright? But ultimately what you want to do is you want to position yourself, jump over that guy safely. It is better to lose a few frames than it is to die. Okay? If you're being really ballsy like me and trying to save frames, anytime you lose a frame, you'll reset. Because you're psychotic like me. Anyway, your goal is you're going to jump about right where this turret was, about halfway in here, or you can go by this little visual cue of this little ledge right here, this lighter shade, dark shade, light shade, corner, corner, light shade. That's your light shade. Jump about there. See, you jump, and your goal is to land about middle of here. As long as you jump, jump, and when you land here, walk. See how I walked for that little bit? I'm jumping, I jumped again immediately. That jump immediately, because I jumped immediately, I potentially jumped into that grenade. Walk, be safe. Wait until it's about near your butt level of your Sprite, mid-level of your Sprite. You know, get your ass cheeks a little bit warm from the grenade, about ready to go off, and then jump that way, because if you continue walking only, this explosion will kill you. So you do need to jump in there, just don't jump too soon, because you'll jump into the grenade. The grenades can kill you in this game, unlike Contra. Jump a little bit too late, and the explosion will get you. It's a pretty big window, to be open and honest with you, so don't worry about it. While you're jumping up through this, you may have some spawns tailing you pretty closely. Every time you jump, shoot that charge shot down. If you don't have a full charge shot, whatever, shoot down, because the normal shots have the 4-way ricochet, and it'll still kill them. So that fire is your best friend. So you just keep going, and you notice I'll pause, and I walk a little bit, and see how I jumped when I was about head level? I'm pretty close to dying there. Yeah, I'm pretty close to dying. You want to wait until it's about at your butt level, because it's not going to explode because you're on a hill and you're technically higher than it. Because you're higher than it, it still has more ways to go down than you are, than it actually looks like. If it was to land at your feet, it still's got to go a little bit further down. Could you keep jumping instead of running? You can, but your positioning when you initially start jumping has to be perfect. Utterly perfect. And I'll explain why right now. Thank you for bringing it up. These grenades, just like the bullets, are attached to the screen. They're not attached to the physical ground. They're attached to a position on the screen. So on the screen, if you were to make this a big XY graph, go back to math here, and let's say this is 0.22, hypothetical, I'm just blowing out stupid numbers, 3, 3, 5, 5, you know what I mean, XY coordinates, okay? When these grenades get launched here, it's launched, it is fixed to this screen position. So when I jump, it is, I don't think I can, it's going up in that thing, or in there. So when I jump, because it's fixed to the screen, it is going to move with the screen up, giving you extra clear distance, and that's what makes it allows you to walk under it, is because it's attached to the screen, and when it's, after it's been thrown, and then you jump, it all of a sudden has a lot longer way to fall down to get onto the ground. So that's why you don't get killed, because it's attached to the screen rather than anything else. So if you wanted to, you can do it low percent style. You'll notice that in low percent is I walk up this whole thing until that grenade gets thrown, and then I jump. Just because. No, I do that in to jump through the 3 pillars. This one I do the same trick. The same trick I'm doing right now. I do it just like any percent in low percent. But it's the same thing. Because it's attached to the screen, that's what gives you the extra clearance. If you have perfect positions, no, you don't need to stop jumping. If you look at Frezzyman's old Super C run, he doesn't stop jumping at all. He had the right position. I just happened to not get the right position, and I lost a couple of frames. Whatever. Still, that's what needs to be done. Walk to play safe. If your position is perfect, and you know it is perfect, you will only know if it's perfect through experience. Then you can just continue jumping. Other than that, walk under them. Play it safe. I urge you, play it safe. And you can just continue on here, holding a charge shot here. kill this guy, and then jump immediately. This is where I screwed up. Shoot this guy, and jump immediately. Jump, whether you got spawns behind you or not, you jump immediately. What that's going to do is manipulate this guy's spawn, or this guy's shots. Because you jumped, you would be higher. These bullets would go higher. More specifically, this first bullet would be higher, and you wouldn't have to do that. You could just walk under, because that bullet would be up here. So you would land and walk under with no worries. So you take out that turret, you jump. Or give it a little bit of moment and then jump. But still, you want to be in the air when this guy is here. You want to be in the air when this guy comes on screen. It doesn't matter how high in the air you are. You just want to be in the air somewhere to manipulate this guy's shot, so you don't have to worry about him. But anyway, holy crap, we made it through 1 minute and 16 seconds of this freaking speed run. Yes! How long has this been going? I don't know yet. Alright, these turrets. Through my tasking, I did discover a way to despawn the 4th turret, thus making the core come out faster. I don't know exactly how it works yet, I just know it can be done. But because this is a real speed run and it's not a task, we're not going to worry about that. As you're dealing with this guy, these shots, I am all the way on the right side of the screen. If we go back a little bit, you'll see as I'm walking, or going back left, right here, I am shooting. I am shooting. You will get spawns in your face if you're not flat up against that invisible wall. You will continue to get spawns. Just shoot until you're there. And then once you're there, just turn your back to it and make sure you're close as you can possibly be. Now, the only place you can get a spawn, unless the game is feeling really evil, and which it has to me a few times, is over here. It's the only place you can get a spawn right now, because you're standing right on the edge. This guy is the only guy that can spawn. While you're shooting this guy, or these turrets, just shoot over. Just stop looking up, shoot over, continue looking up, and finish with the boss. You don't have to worry about him. If the game is feeling really sadistic, and it really wants to irritate you, they'll spawn from the left. It is incredibly rare, even for a cursed cartridge. It is incredibly rare, but it does happen, so don't be surprised about it. It has happened. It's just really rare. I can't stress on how rare it is. When it happens to you for the first time, if it hasn't happened to you before, you're going to laugh hard about it because it is hilarious when it happens. Anyway, onto these. You want to wait until it is the turret is fully on the screen. If it is not fully on the screen, your bullets will go straight through it because it does not have a hitbox yet. So you wait, and wait, and wait. And you'll notice that it takes 1 full charge shot and 1 regular shot to kill those turrets. Or 8 regular shots. I think it's 8. Maybe it's 6. 8 or 6. I forget. Excuse me. If I wanted to be really thorough about this, I can open up my little spreadsheet that Mayor K made me, and I can tell you everything. But I don't want to do that. So this last one you want to jump to, because as soon as it comes on, you want it to hit immediately. Once you hit and you're at your apex or your jump, you're going to start moving right. Right there. You're not going to make it all the way, but you're going to walk to the edge while this is blowing up. While this is blowing up, you're going to walk to the edge and you're going to jump so that you're under it. The core is going to spawn here. And again, you are charging your shot. You are always charging your shot with fire. You jump right in its face by the time it's there. The sooner you kill that and start moving over, the further right you can jump, the more of this spread shot that will actually hit when it blows up. You see this extra one that missed? is because I wasn't far enough to the right. If you're further to the right from killing that last turret, you can get a cleaner shot on this. Once you jump off the edge and you're shooting up, just continue shooting up. Just shoot up, shoot up, shoot up. Don't charge. Don't do the Frezzy charge there. It is actually slower. You can get more damage out by tapping that button twice than it is to press and hold it. You get, I think, 3 shots off for every 1 charge shot you get off, or something like that. I don't know the exact ratio. That's just a guesstimation. On that boss, your first shot, alright, let me rephrase this. On any boss, the first shot is a charge shot. Never use a charge shot on a boss after the first shot. Only the first shot is ever charged. Cool. I made that very clear. And then you can see here, I'm measuring my kill time by lining my gun up with the nose of the helicopter. You see I'm perfectly lined up with it, and see my heel to this line. I can see that is an average kill. If my heel is lined up before that line, that means I got all of my charge shots, after they spread, they all hit the core, so I was perfectly centered up the entire time. And that's the difference. I think it's only like a few frames. From being perfect to imperfect, it's literally only a few frames. Holy crap, why are you complaining about a few frames? Because when you're competing at this high of a level, a few frames here and a few frames there, they eventually add up to full seconds. So, anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm lining up with the nose to see where I am with my heel is with this crack right there. I see it in the Savage Run. Yay! We made it through the first stage. And now that I explained a lot of things about the game as a whole, the first stage is going to be the longest one because I was explaining a lot of intricacies about the game itself, including like hitboxes, general game mechanics. You know, that's why the first stage is going to be longer than all of them. Before I move on to the second stage, which before I do, I'm going to cut the stream and bring it back, and then wait for people to show up again. It makes making highlights on me a lot easier. Questions from the stream chat. Does anyone have questions for me? Or did I cover everything that you could want to know? I will probably shave later tonight or tomorrow. If I don't do that, because it's not really itching me that much right now, it's just a little bit itchy. I normally don't shave it until it's like, oh my god, I gotta shave! But yeah. Thank you for the question, Alora. Sugar-free Kool-Aid, if you're wondering. And it's starting to get dark, so I don't know if I'm still showing up good, which I am. Cool. Any other questions? I covered everything pretty well, pretty thoroughly. What kind of diet does a Contra player have? Ramen, hot dogs, sugar-free Kool-Aid, milk, and give me my car. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna go out to my car. Oh, it's not my car. It's right here. I really want to be in the mood. Snicker Marathon bars. The Snicker Marathon bar. This is the trick. It's not beef jerky. Yes, it is a man's food, beef jerky, but no, Snicker Marathon bars. These things are like amazing. I was eating one of these when I got my Contra run, my Contra Any Percent run. I was eating one, and that's what the difference was. Oh yeah, I like it. But yeah, I like and I keep them. I have them in my backpack just in case I get hungry. What's the difference from and a regular Snickers? Let's see, I got a Snickers ice cream bar here. Wrapper, at least. Let me see if I can... Where's the nutritional value on these things? This thing does not tell me how much protein is in there. This thing, though, has 21 grams of protein. Have I seen the new Dew energy drinks? Nope, and I don't care for energy drinks. Although I do have a Monster. Come on, I'm just itching for some sponsors. That's what I'm looking for. I'm itching for sponsors. No, not really. I'm not really a fan of energy drinks when speedrunning because of what it requires to speedrun these particular games. Yes, Snickers is the official Contra bar. Snickers Marathon bars. But no, it's the energy drinks. They give you a lot of energy, but they just normally, for most people, you'll have a crash. And if that crash happens to come like in the middle of a run, oh god. You know how bad you would feel? So I don't deal with that. That's why I drink sugar-free Kool-Aid. Because there's no sugar, so there's no energy level changes. So that's why I drink sugar-free or water or milk. When I'm like die hard into speedrunning a Contra game. That is not my diet when I'm on a regular basis. But yeah. Any more questions before we move on to the next stage? There's a yes, but no question. I'll text you my schedule later. Or now. Any Contra-related question? Ask Mayor K. When do I estimate I'll get my Contra cards back? Ask Mayor K. Harass him. If he hasn't mailed them, I'm never going to get them. If he has mailed them, 4 days from the day he mailed them, 3 days from the day he mailed them. So, ask him. It's not me. Anyway, we're going to move on to segment 2. So, I'm going to cut the stream and bring it back, and then we'll start again. So, give it like, I don't know, again, like 15-20 seconds and refresh the page. Is there a way to eliminate the right spawns from the heli boss? No. Like I was saying though, if they do spawn from the right, because you're all the way on the left and you're already looking right, you can just, like, oh, a guy spawned, just let go of up, shoot him, and then go back up. That's all you need to do. There's plenty of time. You can take out 2 turrets if you're pretty good at it. You can take out 2 turrets with 2 charge shots before another turret respawns. That's all you need to do. But yeah, you see, that's why. Let me go back to it. Not far enough. Still not far enough. Still not far enough. You'll see that's why I'm here. So if anything does spawn over here, I can just let go let go of up, shoot once, it'll kill it, and I can hit back up and focus on him again. That's why I do that. Anything else? Cool. We're all set. We're going to move on to segment 2. So I'm going to cut the stream, and I'll come right back.